Welcome to the Washington County Community Corrections Center. My name is Joe Simich, Parole and Probation Supervisor. In this orientation video, I will introduce you to some of the benefits, rules, and responsibilities that will be a part of your everyday life here at the center. We're here to assist you with a successful transition to the community by providing service, structure, and accountability in a supportive environment.
The Community Corrections Center provides a structured residential environment for residents to integrate back into the community. The residents are offered the transitional support through services, structure, and accountability. The supportive services focus on employment, housing, education, counseling, and a variety of life skills programs. These programs include substance abuse treatment in groups, mental health evaluation and treatment, employment counseling and job referrals, cognitive skills training, anger management, and faith-based groups.
It is the mission of the Washington County Community Corrections Center to offer services and supervision that will assist you with your transition into the community and to develop a stable and productive lifestyle. It is our pledge to you that we treat you with respect, listen to your concerns, provide programs and services that are beneficial, provide privileges based on performance, and to maintain a safe and humane environment. The center is staffed 24 hours a day by corrections specialists. You're required to follow their direction at all times.
The Community Corrections Center is a residential facility for 215 residents housed in 10 separate living areas. By now, the center staff have assigned you to a dorm and a sleeping area where you'll have a bed and a locker to store your personalized items. You'll share a dorm, day room, laundry room, and bathroom with other residents in your dorm. There is a central cafeteria in the center as well as a jobs resource room, library, exercise room, and a visiting room.
Within the first few business days of your arrival, you will each meet with your individual counselor who will help you develop and manage an individual case plan for your stay. You have been given a center resident manual that contains a guideline of the rules and regulations that you must follow while you stay here. This resident manual outlines the disciplinary process and your rights to a hearing. You must read and understand all information in this manual. When you have questions about how things work here, the center manual will offer your best and quickest answer. Use it. During this first week of your stay at the center, you will receive various orientations and meet with your assigned counselor to begin the process of developing program goals. After this initial week, called the blackout period, you may start to receive privileges granted to residents, like the opportunity to leave the center and have visitors.
As a resident, you will be provided safe and secure housing and all meals throughout your time here at the Community Corrections Center. You will have the opportunity to leave the center for work and activities that support the individual goals. Your counselor will call you to their office for your initial meeting. This meeting will typically occur within the first few business days of your stay.
You will be responsible for all your own personal belongings and individual medical care during your stay. There is no on-site medical staff at the center, but you will have access multiple times each day to the prescription medicines you bring and any counselor-approved medical or dental visits you arrange.
For your own health and safety and for the health and safety of others, the law does require everyone to be tested for tuberculosis within 1 week after entering the center.
Residents will have their own mailboxes while residing at the center.
You will receive personal mail, notes from staff, approved passes from your counselor, and this is also where you will keep your over-the-counter medicines. Any over-the-counter medicines must be stored in your assigned mailbox. No pills or medications will be allowed in resident sleeping areas without staff approval. Those medications are typically rescue medications.
Staff will explain the medication policy with you further after the video.
In the restricted items and allowed personal items section of your resident manual, there's a list of items you are not allowed to have at the center and some that you are allowed to have. Some examples of restricted items include food, drinks, cell phones, iPods, MP3 players, cameras, and computers.
Any item with outside communication capabilities is not allowed.
Please keep your personal items at or below the maximum number allowed as to not be in violation.
K2, Spice, or other synthetic THC products are illegal in Oregon and are considered contraband.
Possession or use of synthetic THC or any other contraband may result in your immediate return to the Washington County Jail or new criminal charges filed against you. Examples of contraband items include drugs, spice or K2, alcohol, pills, or weapons.
In your resident manual, you will find the center's contraband policy. Possession of contraband may result in center discipline, return to jail, or possible new charges. Refer to your resident manual for more description and the definition of what is and is not allowed at the center, or if you have any questions about personal property.
After completing your center orientation, you will receive a phone pass to arrange this initial drop-off of personal items. Your phone call can be no longer than 5 minutes. Residents are allowed one initial drop-off of personal items during your blackout period. Visitors are not required to have advanced authorization to visit or drop off items to you during scheduled visiting times, but all visitors must first check in with staff at the front desk using valid ID. Minor children are not expected to have an ID but must be accompanied by an adult. Any packaged personal items you bring must be unopened in their original containers and may not contain alcohol. Mouthwash, cold remedies, or any other items that do contain alcohol will not be allowed, nor will anything else that has been opened or transferred between different containers.
Visitation and additional drop-offs begin after the blackout period and occur one day each week based on the specific dorm that you're assigned to.
Residents will be allowed a single visitation on your assigned day. Up to 5 family members and/or friends are allowed to visit you for up to 1 hour.
Visiting and drop-off hours will be more fully explained to you by staff during the orientation process. Please refer to your assigned dorm's visiting day, as this will be the only opportunity that you will have to have visits. Those of you who are here but still in the custody of the Sheriff's Office are subject to their visitation rules as defined in the policies of the Washington County Jail. Except for your initial drop-off during blackout week, Sheriff's custody residents will need to have all visitors approved by the Sheriff's Office prior to any visit or drop-off. Another center opportunity offered to residents is access to telephones for personal calls.
You'll find a telephone for residents' use in each dormitory sleeping area.
You're only allowed to use telephones located in your own designated sleeping areas. Most residents will have immediate access to the phone system. If you find you do not have immediate access, you may have to wait up to 1 business day prior to phone use, so please be patient.
All dorm phone calls are recorded and may be monitored.
However, you may have calls to legal representatives blocked from recording and monitoring. Incoming personal phone calls will not be accepted at the front desk unless it's an emergency or the phone call is employment related. In all cases, staff will have the discretion to accept an incoming message or not. Throughout your stay at the center, you will need to remain in your dorm areas, which include
Your assigned dorm sleeping area, dorm day room, dorm bathroom, and dorm laundry room. You may not enter other sleeping areas within your dorm or any other dorms. You may not go to other dorms to visit anyone else in the center. If staff calls you over the intercom to come to the front desk or to a counselor's office, you are to report there promptly.
If staff calls your dorm to the cafeteria or for an outside courtyard break, you're to use this hallway only.
If you have an approved pass to leave the center, you may report to the front desk to check out 5 minutes prior to your pass exit time.
To move to all other areas inside the center, you must be granted permission from staff, and until you receive permission from staff, you must remain in your dorm areas. Residents are to dress in bathrooms and remain dressed at all times. Do not dress or remove clothing in your sleeping areas or in the day room. Also, you are not to dress in a manner that could be considered disruptive, like provocative and revealing, or in colors or patterns identifying with a particular group. Refer to your resident manual for a list of clothing items you may have with you at the center.
In each dorm, you will find a bulletin board with information posted. Such postings will include counselors' work and walk-in schedules, center program schedule, and dorm chores schedule.
Residents are expected to help out with cleaning projects. If a staff member asks you to help out, you must follow their instructions fully. This is a requirement of all residents in the center.
Each resident is required to help out with the upkeep of their personal areas and assist with dorm chores, including sanitizing the shared bathrooms.
Good housekeeping, general cleanliness, and attention to personal hygiene help prevent the spread of disease. Residents are expected to maintain good hygiene habits while at the center.
Outside courtyard breaks are offered to center residents once every 2 or 3 hours during the day for approximately 10 minutes.
State law prohibits smoking inside the center, but residents can smoke cigarettes outside during courtyard breaks.
Outside breaks will be announced over the intercom system by staff.
State law also prohibits smoking within 10 feet of any entrance, exit, window that can open, and air intake or ventilation areas. Violations of this will result in disciplinary actions. There will be no alternate break times offered, and you may only go outside on break with your designated floor.
Late arrivals will not be allowed to go out. Please do not ask to be let out after the courtyard door is shut. If you miss an outside courtyard break, you will have to wait until the next time your floor is called out. There are no exceptions. The only tobacco products allowed in the center will be manufactured, pre-packaged, and pre-rolled tobacco cigarettes. No cigars, pipes, loose or smokeless tobacco products of any kind are allowed. All windows and doors in the building are alarmed. You are not to open any door or window unless in the event of a fire evacuation and it is your only access to get out of the building.
You will receive training on what to do in case of a fire or any emergency that prompts the evacuation of the building. An evacuation is the only time you can leave the center using anything other than the door by the front desk. During any emergency, always follow the direction of Correction Center staff. If an evacuation does occur, residents are to immediately go to the front of the sheriff's office and line up according to dorms. Failure to properly assemble and be accounted for after an evacuation could be grounds for your being charged with a felony escape. Please review in your resident manual the center's discipline rules under center rules violation and disciplinary process. There you will find a list of all rules violations. It's your responsibility to know these rules and follow them. If you violate a center rule and it's considered minor in nature, you may receive an intervention from staff, such as a verbal warning, assigned work hours, or short bunk restriction. However, if the violation is a major violation, you will be placed on restriction or returned to jail. If you're placed on restriction status, you will lose some of your privileges and be required to stay in your bunk area until staff authorizes your movement to another location. There is a hearings process for all major violations received, which residents have the right to attend. For residents participating in the treatment program, their privileges and rules are generally the same as those for everyone in the center. However, as a part of the treatment plan, some activities, such as meals, classes, and social activities, are designed to include only those residents from within those dorms. Furthermore, specific treatment dorm rules and guidelines will be covered by your assigned counselor.
As determined by the individual case plan that you've developed with your counselor, you may leave the center with a valid pass. You may only leave the center using the entrance by the front desk and only after signing out with staff.
If you fail to sign out and/or leave without staff authorization, it will be considered an escape to a Class C felony crime.
Cindy?
You may only return to the building through the front entrance door. You must then stop and check in with staff. Failure to check in by your scheduled time will be considered a rules violation. It is essential that you return from all of your passes on or before your scheduled due back time. If you return to the center past that time, you may face disciplinary action from the center, or you may receive new charges from the Washington County District Attorney's Office. Center staff will further explain late returns, unauthorized departures, and escapes during your orientation process. Sexual activity is prohibited in the center. There are many ways to help prevent becoming a forced or coerced victim while at the center. They include
Not accepting items of value from other residents. Not giving out information about family, friends, or financial support. Not displaying body language or dress that can be perceived as vulnerable. Not giving an impression of having money available or of being in need of money.
Hey, watch what goes behind you, dude. Watch what you're walking, man.
Staying leery of any resident offering protection. Avoiding isolated areas out of sight of staff.
Should a sexual assault occur in the center, there are 3 options you can choose from to report it. You can report it immediately to any center staff. You can report it confidentially by writing down your complaint and place it in the resident's concerns box located in the visitor's room, or you can report it by dialing 9 on your resident phone, which results in an email to the center manager. A thorough investigation will be initiated by local law enforcement. If you've ever been sexually assaulted in any other jail or prison, please report that to your counselor. Treatment and counseling services are available to any victim of sexual assault. Information regarding counseling, sexually transmitted diseases, and other services are available in the visitor's room. Community Correction Center's goal is to provide each of you the opportunity for and the responsibility of a successful transition back into the community by offering services and providing passes into the community. We hope you make good use of this privilege. Follow the rules and you can benefit from the Center's many resources. Success is up to you. Thank you and good luck.
Staff will meet with you to finish your Community Correction Center orientation. They will provide you with a phone pass so you may arrange your initial drop-off of personal items. If you have any questions about the information presented in this orientation video, please read and refer to your resident manual for answers. Community Corrections staff specialists and your assigned counselor will also be available to answer questions you may have. This concludes the video portion of your orientation process.